wish the title of this video was clickbait. Unfortunately, it is not. Recur did indeed rug. I am somebody who have been using Recur since the beginning. I've even went to their events. Have this little Recur trading pack. I have a pin that I just dropped. I have 7 passes, quite a few of their other NFTs. All that being said, let's talk about it. In this video, here's what you can expect. It's going to be a little bit more casual than my other videos. Not a lot of edits, really just talking about what happened. This one hurts. I'll just be straight up. We're going to talk about exactly what happened, at least what they have announced, what to do moving forward. So what should we do if you're holding passes or assets, or what to expect at the future of those. Some speculation on, maybe what could have happened, because a lot of people say that they saw this coming. They did not see this coming, and I'll talk about why in this video. And lastly, I'm going to talk about some personal perspective as somebody who covered Recur in the past. They never sponsored me, never got anything free whatsoever, but I've covered them, so it hurts to know that I covered somebody who just completely pulled out the rug. So let's talk all about that in this video. While some of you might have already read this, I'm going to pretend that you haven't. This is their tweet, or now their post that they put out today, just 5 hours ago from the time of recording this video. Today, with heavy hearts, we must share some difficult news. After much contemplation and consideration, we've decided to, they use the word deprecate the Recur platform effective November 16th, 2023. Learn more here. We're going to look into the FAQ in just a bit. The decision has not been an easy one. However, unforeseen challenges and shifts in the business landscape have made it increasingly difficult for us to continue providing the level of service and dedication that we have always strived to maintain. We want to extend our heartfelt thanks to reach out to every one of you being an integral part of the Recur community. It is deep, deep sense of gratitude that we look back on moments, both the triumphs and the challenges that have shaped Recur. So just backpedaling just a bit, Recur maybe like 2 months ago shut down their Discord communication where a lot of people were talking, where a lot of things were going on. So that was a red flag for a lot of people, with good reason to have red flags on that. But I would say this is just like a complete left hook, like them completely shutting down operations. Now, before we go on to what to do next, I want to talk about this for a second. Recur raised $55 million in VC funding. They have 380,000 NFTs minted. Let's not talk about numbers of community members and their team members. They had a pretty stacked team. They sponsored these big events where I got these cards and all this other stuff. So what happened? Like they were making money. Like they raised enough money to cover this. They raised enough money off their NFT mints to cover everything. So why all of a sudden did they just leave? And use whatever they say, deprecate. Why did they shut down? Again, we're gonna speculate that towards the end of this video. I just wanted to point that out real quick. So for those that are watching that are like me, I have 7 passes. Hopefully I can pull this up. Yep. I have 7 passes on Recur. I have a lot of the other NFTs. So what do? Here's what we can do. We can open this FAQ up and look at it. I'm not going to read all of this. You can see the hyperlink up here. Go to their tweet and find this. But this is basically like a shutting down roadmap. So 18th, which is today, here's what's an immediate effect. For Powered by Recur experiences, main transactional functionalities such as primary sales and secondary sales will be disabled. New primary sales cannot be created. End users cannot perform secondary market trades on Recur hosted marketplace. Existing marketplaces will be delisted from Recur hosted marketplaces. End users can continue to withdraw their NFTs to on-chain wallets and cash out any redeemable balances that occurred prior to August 31st. So this last part, you can withdraw your NFTs, and I even thought about focusing on that. Oh gosh, everyone who doesn't know how, I need to make a tutorial on how to do this. I already had one a while back. That's completely up to you, because if you're paying the gas for it, now I guess you could withdraw it on Avalanche or Polygon, something that's that's probably what I'll do, something that's more cost effective. If you're paying an Ethereum gas fee of $15 to $25 or whatever it is, who are you going to sell this to? I don't know. I'm right now I'm pessimistic about it. Now, I know a lot of people since the beginning were oh, we'll just look at the projects. A lot of people that weren't super involved just look at the projects that they endorsed and make that more them. To me, that's always been an IP, whoever the IP was problem, because since the beginning, Recur has always been a portal into these IPs. So let's take Nickelodeon, for instance. They did the Nickelodeon NFTs. The Nickelodeon NFTs didn't really deliver. At least I didn't keep up with it. Didn't deliver anything. I traded a few of them. Whatever. They basically went from hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Some people paid thousands of dollars to like worth nothing. Now, at the end of the day, in my head, Recur was a portal to that. So it's one of those weird things. Like, I guess Recur kind of enabled it, but I still didn't view that as Recur. So this is why this was such a left hook for me, that this is actually Recur just wiping out the feet from underneath us. So again, instead of going over all this, let's look at the vitals, which is really in the FAQ. You will be able to withdraw your balances after or starting on August 31st. So there's that. So you can get any money that's on Recur out. For NFT access, it's what I said earlier. You will need to self-custody yours, and that's really up to you, whether you want to pay the fees for that to self-custody yours. I probably will still self-custody all 7 of mine, just because. And if you want me to talk about that process, I can. Will the NFT metadata still be accessible? Yes, Recur will transition the NFT metadata. What's next? So this is important. It's at each brand's discretion to decide how they want to license and manage their intellectual property moving forward. So if you minted StarCraft like I did, and I'm still holding, again, I'm going to talk about my personal experience at the end of this video. If you minted Nickelodeon stuff, if you minted any of their experiences, that's up to the license, what they want to do with that. And this isn't super uncommon. This is what even like Vivi has said in one of their AMAs, if the Vivi platform went bankrupt or whatever, what's going to happen to the IP or what's going to happen to the NFTs. It's at the discretion of the licenses. So there's that. So time for the speculation, something that LOK has said for a while. I never saw it. He actually pointed me in this direction. If you go to their Glassdoor and look at their profile, if you go read the reviews, everyone that's worked for them, at least that's leaving reviews on this, was upset. I mean, the first comment is incompetent leadership, definition of a rug pull. Some really smart coworkers, opportunities in Web3, remote company, but basically just failing in upper management. You have the community manager saying the same thing. Another one, inexperienced upper management. Stay away. Immature leadership, which includes lying to employees about additional funding, irrational decisions, and letting go of, let's show more. No, we're not. This one's good. Disorganized with toxic culture, lots of decisions without transparency, no concrete mission. All right, you get the point, and this is, we'll go on to the next part. The point is, it looks like it all just derived from poor upper management. I mean, $55 million in funding, selling out successfully, having decent hype around it. Not that hype's everything. Like, it had everything going for it. So to me, it just had to be something to do with the upper management. At least that's my guess. This is alleged. This is grabbing at straws. We don't know. We just know that this was pretty sudden, and it sucks. All right, now time for the not so fun part for me. Transparency. I've covered Recur on this channel. Of course, I cover a lot of topics. At the end of the day, some of these NFT companies, some of these projects are going to fail. Everything I cover with conviction. I don't cover things that I know are going to do things like this. This was a left hook for me, and it has been a long time since I've covered Recur. At the time, things were a lot different than I guess they have been the last year. And I know a lot of people are going to say they saw this coming. A lot of people just don't like projects, and they just root for their downfall. I really hate that this happened. As you saw, I've never been endorsed by Recur. I've never been sponsored by them, never accepted NFTs from them. I got a few free things at an event, but so did literally everybody there. That was nothing to do with covering them in content. It just sucks. I'm down. I minted my pass. I held it. I never sold when I was making videos about it. I held it the entire way. I bought more passes, up to 7 passes. I don't think I've ever sold a single pass at all. I did sell their other NFTs, like the Nickelodeon drop, which I was super transparent about from the get-go of like, hey, I'm going to buy this many boxes and then I'm going to sell this many, or at least transparent either on YouTube, Twitter, or wherever. At the end of the day, as Recur it goes, the portals themselves, this did catch me by surprise. I really thought that they were just kind of building with their heads down. Didn't want to get involved, like basically during the bear market like some other projects do, but it doesn't look like the case. It looks like it's poor management. They let it all fall apart. Really upset by it myself. I'm sorry if any of you were exposed to Recur from my videos. Unfortunately, this is going to happen in this space. And I will say that if you caught any of my live streams or any times like talking about it on any platform, I did encourage people like at the height of it when the passes got ridiculous prices to sell if they needed the money or if they wanted the money. I only had one, so I held on to at that time. So I held on to mine all the way up, all the way down. And also I didn't want to like make videos on something after I sold it. You know, I wanted to hold on to it with that conviction. But yeah, a lot of my friends, Discord, even out in the open, I was like, you know, if I had more than one, I'd probably be selling right now because it got ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I don't know. You know, this sucks. This is an L to me across the board. I'm sure some people that are just involved with one project might be like laughing at this and excited, but I don't think this is good for the space. I mean, 55 million in VC funding, that's a lot of people that trusted in them. This is just bad taste for big IP in the space, bad taste for the general public. And I hate that it happened. And I wish I didn't have to make this video, but here we are.